Thank you all for coming. Who was here last year at Sound Design Live? Raise your hand. Wow, we have a lot of new people. Okay, so those of you that don't know, you're in for a treat. We are going to be making some video game sounds, and we are going to be doing it with the sounds from the community. So that means that you guys are going to hold up random objects in the audience, and myself and Josh are going to pick it up or bring you up, and we're going to record the sound. My name is Ryan Stunkel.
Joshua Mallard.
And yeah, we're Blipsounds. Thanks so much for joining, guys. Yeah. So how many of you guys are sound designers? Raise your hand. Music composers?
Okay.
Game developers? Nerds? Yeah! There we go. Cool. Okay, so the process of sound design, so for those of you that don't know, involves recording a sound effect, and then we put it into a DAW to make it into a better sound effect, basically. But that's a really terrible explanation, so I'm going to show you guys exactly the process in this video. So you can kind of get an idea for how sound design is kind of done. We just record a sound, and we process it and all of that good stuff. We did a metal pan, and we did some water, and simply that's what our sound turned into. So I wanted to kind of just get you guys in the mindset, in the creative mindset, to create a sound effect for professional video games, since all of us together are going to be making a sound. That sound that you just saw is exactly the one that we will be creating today, or the animation rather. So let's pull up the video. So this is the sound, or this is a variation of the sound that we just saw in the video. So you can break it down into a couple different pieces. We have a concept that we call thematic sound design in Blipsounds, where we basically take a specific source recording and we break down what we see in the animation to determine what we are going to record. So what do you see, like if we were to mute this, what do you see in this animation? Feel free to shout it out. Water, good.
Yeah.
Exactly. What else? Heavy wind, okay. Outward waves. What is a nautilus made of? Metal, very good. So with this in mind, we can break down our source recordings into a few different pieces. We can break it down into metal, water, and wind. So when we're making our sound effect, we're going to break it down into this. And you will see that our source recordings exactly break down into that. So the first one is our water splashes. Simple enough. Just go to a pool, dip your hand in some water, or have your friends jump in while you record them. Easy enough. A metal pan. We recorded these at a higher frequency, and then these ones at a lower frequency, just to cover the frequency spectrum, because when we're doing sound design, covering the frequency spectrum is very helpful to make a satisfying and fulfilling sound effect. And then we also have our good friend white noise. White noise is basically just filling out all of the frequency spectrum at the same time in order to make it feel more fulfilling. So if we were to take this out, it feels good, but once we add this, the splashes feel really powerful as a result.
Yeah, it's adding a lot.
Yeah, it is, yeah. So yeah, I think, is there anything else we want to go over? I think that we can kind of just dive into this. So yeah, we're going to just open up another session. We have our beautiful microphone here, a Zoom H6. Who here has seen one of these Zoom H6s before? Raise your hand. Okay, actually a good amount of people. Okay,
yeah, and I can
more than I expected. And then, yeah, it has different capsules and all this stuff. We'll explain this in the process as we do it. But yeah, this is the microphone that we use. It's fairly industry standard. And yeah, we're going to record you guys with this. So yeah, look forward to that. So why don't we go ahead and get started with the 3 recordings that we're going to be using. We have metal, we have water, and we have noise. So why don't we go ahead and start with the easiest one to me, which is probably the water source recordings. Just give us a moment to set up for a moment. Check, check.
Check, check, check.
So if we're doing, I think we'll just go ahead and, if you guys have any water, anything related to water, like that water bottle right there, do you want to come on up? Yeah, come on up, come on up.
Yeah, water bottles, anything like that. Check, check.
There we go.
All right. And if someone even has one of those like hydro flasks, those metallic water bottles, those things are awesome.
Yeah, true, true. Hi, I'm Ryan. Nice to meet you. Josh, do you mind being the microphone operator?
Oh, yeah.
For the, yeah, so, okay, cool. Yeah, so basically what we're going to do is we're just going to shake the water bottle. Do you think you can do that?
I think I can.
Okay, cool. What's your cosplay?
I'm like chic because I'm Zelda, but in disguise.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's a good one. When I was in high school, I would go to Halloween, or I'd go to school on Halloween dressed as the Hulk before he gets mad. So I just go as myself. Yeah. Same concept, right? So basically, I want to explain one little thing that we do in sound design. We utilize something called an envelope. Who's here heard of an envelope when we're talking about sound design? Okay, a lot of people, good. So an envelope, for those of you that don't know, is basically volume over time. So if we have a sound effect like a punch sound effect, or an impact sound is going to have a very fast attack, while a whoosh sound effect is going to have a relatively slow attack. So with a sound like this, where there's 3 impact sounds, we're going to be looking for sounds with a very fast attack. So as a result of that, just you're going to do like a really fast, aggressive shake one at a time, basically. So whenever you're ready, Josh. I think that's good. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah. So throughout this process, we're just going to have a lot of fun and just record a bunch of different sounds. Why don't we just go through the loop of sound? So we have the water, we have the metal. Does somebody want to have any unique metal source recordings? What is that, a coffee mug back there? The soda mug?
Oh.
Bring it up, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, really good thing.
Sorry for interrupting you.
No problem. Yeah, and as we record these, we really don't just try one method of hitting the object. Go ahead and experiment and see how many sounds you can get.
I'm Ryan. Maria, nice to meet you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So, yeah, what Josh was just saying was really key, actually, for those of you that are new to sound design and Foley recording. Whenever you have a source recording, we can manipulate a sound in any which way. For something like this with a unique shape to it, every part of the mug is going to make a different sound. Like the top of it was making a more high-pitched sound and it was ringing more, while the lower one was this was lower pitch and this is higher pitch down here. So there's a lot of different ways that you can manipulate a single source recording. You just got to hit it and see what goes on. Anywho, go ahead. Could we try loosening your grip on it? Like just hold it from here like by 2 fingers, and now try hitting it one at a time. There we go, so it rings out a lot more. I think that's good. Awesome, you're a natural, thank you. Yeah, it's back and forth. Yeah.
Well, we had wind next?
Yeah. I think we wanted like a wind or a white noise source recording. That little pink star thing. He has a what? He has a bell in it? Do you want to come on up? What's your name? Estrella. I'm Ryan. Oh, I was going to shake your hand. Nice to meet you. So why don't you go ahead and just do like one shake at a time. I think that's perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right, so let's get like something sort of like white noisy. That paper crumbling? Yeah, come on up.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
I should have set the expectations from the beginning, but this sound is probably not going to turn out very well, just as a heads up. You'll learn a lot, but... Sweet, thank you so much. Oh, what's your name again? Rose. Rose, Ryan. Thank you so much, yeah, absolutely. Okay, I want to do, actually, let's do a different limitation other than the, like the elements, like doing like a wind sound or a noisy sound. Let's do something based off the envelope. Let's get like something that has like a deep impact sound to it. Does anybody have any ideas for that? What is that thing you're holding up there? It's a game. You must really hate that game. Come on up. How you doing? I'm Ryan. Nice to meet you. So, oh, okay, Crazy Taxi. Okay, pretty good. On the Dreamcast. I don't know why you're holding it, but. I think that's good. Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Cool. So we have, do you have any ideas? I do.
Let's see. We have some hands. Maybe there's some good ideas.
What's up? You gonna be better than that?
Oh, yeah.
If you guys all stomped for us at the same time. Okay. So
Yeah, let's try with the XY capsule.
Yeah, I'll explain. Do you want to set it up and I'll explain it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this microphone that we've been recording with, the Zoom H6, is this is a shotgun attachment that we have. And the shotgun attachment basically allows us to record very directionally. So if we point it over this way, we'd be able to listen to the people in the front versus over here. We'd listen to the people over here and we wouldn't hear these people as much. And there's two different types of listening. I don't even know what to call it. Stereo field or like generally. What'd you say? I guess it is a polar pattern, yeah. So it's the polar pattern basically implies that the number of channels and also like how it listens to something. If it's very directional, it can be more broad. And we have this one here, which is a stereo pair, and this allows us to record in stereo. So if you think of each of these microphones as an ear that you listen with, then we are using one ear to listen with, while this one has two microphones attached to it, and we're listening with two ears. So it's simulating human hearing because each of our ears hears and perceives things differently so that we can directionally hear what's happening on different sides and such, and it creates more stereo depth. You guys may or may not hear this, so this might go way over your heads and through your ears. But so what we're going to do is we are going to, I'm going to hold my hand like this, and then when I open, you guys stomp. So we'll try it once. That's awesome. Perfect. No, it's all good.
All right.
Well, and we'll start in a minute. Yeah, I was just practicing.
All right. Yeah, this might have to be pretty loud.
You think so? I think it'll be fine. All right. Ready? Guys, I didn't open my hand. What are you doing? Cool. So that'll work as a pretty good layer. So, because we want to fill out the frequency spectrum of our sound as well. So we have some of the bass elements. I think we probably want to get like one more metal sound in there, probably something like a little bit on the lower frequency side, if anybody has it. We could try that. Yeah, with the hydro flask, yeah? Yeah, that was you. Yeah, come on up.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. That's true. What's up? I'm Ryan. Of course. Yeah, I don't know why I'm shaking people's hands. Yeah. With all the... Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, that's smart. Actually, we could have used that for a sound too. Now that I think about it, it was some hand sanitizer spray. Yeah, so I think what we'll just, if you remember what we were showing with one of the previous recorders or Foley artists, just if we, this is actually really good because it's hanging from this little thing here.
Yeah, it has the resonance from the water.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Yep. So. I think the first one that you did where you like hit it on the side, let's get like 4 of those. You trying to break my equipment, man? Perfect. Thank you so much, man. Cool. Let's see. You know what? I want to get another white noise source. I think I want to have the entire audience just go at the same exact time to make this a source. We're going to do the same exact thing we did before. I promise I won't trick you this time. But yeah, I guess the stereo pair we should use again. Yeah. And yeah, same exact thing. Little practice. Perfect. Cool. Oh, you were still going. Sorry, I didn't realize you were recording. Cool. Thank you so much. Does someone have like a rattle in there or something? I don't know where that is. Everyone pointed backwards, and it doesn't sound like it's that far back. It's an egg? Oh, it's one of those shaker eggs. You want to bring it up? Yeah, come on up. Yeah, we should have just grouped it together. What's up? I'm Ryan. Alyssa? Nice to meet you. Yeah, so I think we're gonna do, so if you remember the animation that we have, it was a very quick attack, so like something very aggressive, and then I think having it like kind of sizzle out a little bit. Yeah, and let's do that like 5 times. I think that's perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. A plastic cup? All the way in the... Oh, you want, well, you just crushed it, so now we can't use it. If you want to get another one and bring it up. Yeah, the water cooler is not a bad idea. We do need some more water. We'll go into that in a minute. Let's give him a round of applause. Hi, how are you?
Hello.
I'm Ryan.
Mike.
Are you with Extra Life?
For the morning.
For the morning? Okay, gotcha. Go check out Extra Life, please.
Charity helps people.
Yes. Cool. So, and speaking of health, I saw you crush this on your head earlier. Perfect.
I mean, might as well keep it going that way.
Let's do one more. I don't want you to hurt yourself.
They're plastic.
Thank you so much. You guys are insane.
Yeah, thank you all.
Yeah. Let's get another water source. Thank you so much. Let's get another water source. I wanted something that's like not in a water bottle though. Does anybody have like the water in the cooler? There's an open. I'm not using that. I'm sorry. We can't use that. Does anybody have anything not water bottle-esque? Can of soda? What is that? Yeah, that's perfect. Come on up. So, okay, you're drinking it right now.
I am drinking.
Okay.
Do you want a fresh one?
No, it's fine.
I have one more.
No, it's totally cool. I don't know what we could do for this. Yeah, yeah, we could pour it. I was trying to think of something like more. Let's do this. Let's do 2 different recordings for this. Okay. Let's just start with you just like sloshing it around a little bit. We'll do let's do 5 of those. Yeah, that loud one was good, yeah. It's perfect. Awesome. And then we'll do one more where we pour it into a cup, maybe? Appreciate it. Thank you. Can we get a hand for our enforcers? For this one, I think we're just going to do a continuous pour. So just do like a light and consistent pour. Brilliant. Art at its finest. Thanks so much. Do you want me to take the can for you? Yeah, sure. Cool. Cool. That was a good one, actually. I think that'll be a good one when we do it. Let's see, what time are we at? We're 20 minutes. We have 25 minutes left. I think, let's do one more. What haven't we got? We've got enough white noise.
We have white noise, water, some metal.
Do we have what? High pitch what? Metal. High pitch metal?
High-pitched metal stuff.
Yeah, let's do another high pitch metal.
Like keys or something.
What is that thing that you're hitting? Leather? Okay, I think we need something metal, unfortunately. The keys? Actually, yeah, those keys there, you with the hat. Yeah, come on up. Hey, how's it going? Ryan. Jake. Nice to meet you. Actually, do you mind just facing to the audience, Josh? Yeah. Cool. Can we get some silence, guys? Thank you. So just do like one big shake at a time. I think that's perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Yeah. I think we should go into the recording process or the designing process now. Unless anybody has like, you know what? Put up your weirdest sound. What's the weirdest thing that you have? Like Cheez-Its?
Yeah, we got Cheez-Its.
A banana?
What's that in the back?
Okay, Cheez-Its and banana, come on up. Somebody has a whole guitar. Is that a guitar?
Got some extra toasty Cheez-Its.
Okay, the Cheez-Its are extra toasty for those that want to know. Are you okay? Are you okay with sacrificing this banana for the sake of art?
How dare you?
How dare you? He says. Yeah, let's do the peel. I think that'd be good. Start with that. Yeah. Didn't go as planned, but that's okay.
Just a little bit of squished banana now.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll figure out a way to work that in. It'll be like it'll be the weird part of the sound. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's perfect. It's perfect. Thank you. For art to be created, it must be destroyed. Something must be sacrificed. And somebody had a guitar. We might as well just bring that up, honestly. I don't know what we're gonna do with this. Yeah. Yeah, should we just have him play like some Rush songs for like the rest of the entire panel? What'd you say?
Some pinch harmonics.
Oh, pinch harmonics.
Yeah.
Can you do pinch harmonics? Yeah. That'd be sweet actually. So let's just do like one of those at a time so that we can get the reverberation from it. It's perfect. Beautiful. Thank you so much. What's your name? Sebastian. Cool. Give a hand to Sebastian. Awesome. Cool. So that concludes the recording section of this panel. Now we're gonna take these. Oh, thank you. And now we're gonna take these recordings and drop them into our favorite DAW, Reaper. Check. There we go. Oh. Okay.
Check.
So now we have a little folder here. This is gonna be like the most exciting part of this panel. I can't lie to you guys. I'm gonna be dragging in all of these files into the session. I can see all of you by your overwhelming applause that you just gave me. Yeah.
the best
And
part.
the standing ovation too. Don't forget the standing ovation. If only.
Yeah. You'd be surprised how much time you'll spend sorting through recordings, naming sounds, all that stuff.
Actually, while we do this, why don't we get a couple questions from the audience?
yeah.
Do you want to handle that, Josh, while I do this?
Sure.
Feel free to just raise your hand, and we'll hear.
Yeah, some volunteers, and I'll make my way over, okay?
What project have you guys done recently?
So fun fact, we actually have a game on the floor called Maneater, which we took part in. And then we also had, we did some stuff for King of the Hat. That's like one of my favorite projects. The devs for that game are so cool.
What was your favorite sound effect to make for Maneater?
So it's a long story. I'm not sure if it actually made it into the game. I'll say that. But basically, I think probably all the gore sounds, just like recording the gore and like the blood and the blood splats and all that stuff. It's always a lot of fun.
All right, over here.
What was the weirdest source sound you've ever recorded, and what was the weirdest final sound that came out of recordings?
Do you want to answer that one, Josh?
Yeah, actually, at our Blipsounds class a few years back, we recorded just air escaping from a balloon, and I made a whole piece of music with it.
What, you did?
Yeah, I don't think Ryan's heard it, but when you get a single sound, you'd be really surprised how much you can sort of mangle it and get a new sound. Was there a hand back here? Oh yeah, here, I'll go there first. All right, let's see.
Do you guys ever hear sounds in other video games or movies and try and reverse engineer it and be like, oh yeah, that was totally a box of Cheez-Its that made that sound? Like,
It's always a box of Cheez-Its. Just sound design pro tip. I'll save you a lot of time. It's always Cheez-Its. No, but yeah, reverse engineering sounds isn't too hard. Sometimes it's like really, really hard, but
Yeah, if it's an unusual source like
yeah.
Star Wars uses an elephant for the TIE fighter.
Yeah, right. Or or you can take a balloon, blow it up, and then rub it, and then pitch it downwards, and it'll make the sound of an earthquake. The rules of like thematic sound design that we've taught here, and like all of the limitations that you can apply to the creativity of sound design, is pretty. They apply to like most things, but then there are some things like hanging a slinky from the ceiling to get the laser sound from Star Wars. It's just like, how do you even think of that? I don't know. But I think we're done, Josh. Actually, we'll do more Q&A at the very end, everybody.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Yeah. We'll do it for like the last 10, 15 minutes if anyone has questions, and we'll be outside afterwards. Thank you so much, Josh, for helping out. Josh is a killer sound designer and music composer, by the way. Give a hand to Josh.
Thanks.
Cool. So I think we're just going to go ahead and dive into this. I'm just going to drag in these source recordings, and we are going to listen.
Yep, that's a lot of files.
That's a lot of files, yeah.
And we'll use 10% of it.
Okay, so first things first. Okay, so that's the guitar. We have. Was that the Cheez-Its? What?
Is it being processed or anything?
No.
It just sounds cool.
That's
okay.
just what Cheez-Its sound like. What?
That's ready.
Was that on the? Honestly? Hold on. It's done. That's all we need.
Maybe
Was this the
water?
banana here?
Oh yeah, banana.
Hold on.
Were you going for the
Pitch shifter.
pitch shifter? Yep.
You see, that's like the kind of like earthquakey kind of sound that you can get from that with the pitch shifter. Okay. That was the banana, yes. That's what I said. Oh, that key sound actually turned out pretty well.
Yeah, keys always great.
You're just like, it's done.
Some sounds you don't have to do a lot to.
So what I'm doing here is I'm just cutting up the sound ahead of time. So we're getting 3 different parts of the sound because there are 3 splashes. So we're going to use those as different layers. And you know, we'll do that for the Cheez-Its right now, just because that's the best sound I've ever heard in my life. Okay, so here's another thing. If I play the sound here, it sounds cool, but what's really cool about it is the whoosh sound. The little whoosh sound kind of like builds anticipation to it. Welcome to Blipsounds Talks About Cheez-Its for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And sometimes we'll call that dynamics, the difference between loudness and softness in a sound. The sort of build up to it and the envelope can have a really big impact on like what you're actually going to hear as a listener.
Absolutely. Let's see what this one was, the pouring, I believe.
Yeah, that was great.
Get out of here, Cheez-Its. You've had enough screen time. This will probably work somewhere. We'll just chop this up a few times and then we'll use that. And to make it, you're probably going to listen to this and be like, Ryan, this isn't going to work. The release of the sound isn't going down. But if we add a fade to all of these, ooh, now it sounds like it belongs in the sound all of a sudden. Okay, let's check out this one. That'll work pretty well too, actually. Was this the
The
shaking of the?
yeah, the drink,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
energy drink.
That sounds really cool.
It's really good.
Yeah. I don't even know if it'll fit for the sound, but in general, it's a very cool source recording. Oh, that was the crunching.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I blocked that from my memory.
That's good. You know, I wonder if it wasn't crushed on the head, would we get the same sound? That's the real question.
Yeah. This is what a real sound designer will ask themselves. Okay, so I think I'm going to start just forming the sound for now because there's so many source recordings. I'm going to start with the basics first, and we have to do the Cheez-It sound. So I already set up the processing a little bit, just because processing is very difficult to explain sometimes. So basically, we're just going to line this up to the animation properly. Let's duplicate this metal pan low sound. It will not duplicate, that's fine. There we go. Or no, it did duplicate. Nope, it didn't. Ignore me. So we are going to line this up to where the animation is. This is on frame by frame mode, so we will be able to mark exactly where the actual hits are happening. So the first one, I'm going to do a little bit beforehand because we have that whoosh anticipatory sound. Then we have a second one here. Then we have the third one around here.
Nice.
That already had some processing on it, but you know what?
Not-
Cheez-Its don't need no processing. So we'll start with that for now.
And there's not even like too much complex things going on with the processing. For those with some audio background, even just EQ and pitch shifting can do a lot to change the sound.
Yeah, and for anyone listening, like we have a free course on the Blipsounds website, just blipsounds.com if you want to start learning some sound design. We show you how to do like the basic editing, and we even show like the processing of what we would do for a sound like this. So that sounds pretty okay. I think we just need it to be a little bit tighter. Okay, not a bad start. We'll explore and see what else we can add to that. I think I want to get is there anything else that we have to put in here? The guitar? The guitar's a tough one. The guitar is like an extra sound that we would add to like the layering at the top of it. It's a really good sound, but it kind of depends on if it can fit into the rest of it. The stomp?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the stomp will help a lot actually. Was it this one? No, that was a cool sound though. That sounds terrifying. The PAX community is coming. I love you guys. Don't hurt me. That is so scary. See that there? So this is going to be pretty, we call this muddy when it like gets very low pitch or low frequency. That'll be pretty good, I think. We'll just lower that in volume a tiny bit here. Let's try that. Okay, not a bad start. And I think the next thing is probably a metal source, yeah?
Yeah, add some impact.
Yeah, we had one of those first ones, didn't we? It was...
The bottle.
Yeah. Was it?
There we go.
That'll work. You can see that by the waveform here, the reason I'm able to find these is because the waveform here is a representation of the volume over time. So it's basically, it's exactly as we explained it on like the envelope, for example. Like we have a fast attack here and then a relatively slow release. let's just drag all this guy up here. So this is a sort of low-pitched sound. So we're going to duplicate this track here, and let's remove this guy, and then we're going to layer this in time. Let's hear that. That'll be better on the high-pitched ones, actually. Let's move that onto that category. Sounds pretty good. We need something like a lot lower. Do we have anything like that?
That bigger bottle?
Was this it here? I don't even remember what that was.
Yeah, what was that?
Which one was that? Crazy
Oh,
Taxi.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. That was so cool.
Yeah, I love that sound.
You're a sound designer, aren't you, whoever did that one? Yeah, are you a sound designer? I knew it, yeah. I knew it. So what they were doing there is when they took the bottle and they rang it and then they moved it, the water inside of it was like just ever so slightly changing the pitch, but also is just changing the resonance as it rang out. And that caused this,
Try dangling it.
that sort of like ringing out sound effect.
Oh, yeah, I'm in there, though.
Very, very smart. Oh, are you?
Dangling it. If that goes into a game, do I get like VO credits too?
Yeah, of course. Let's see. So we're going to move all these guys over here to the start. And we're going to layer this in as well to the low metal pan sound. We're actually almost done here, surprisingly. This sound is actually turning out better than I thought it would be. Not that it was you guys or anything, it's just, you know. So that last one's a little bit too loud, so I think I'm going to, what can we do here? Let's find a different one. It's just like very tonal, which is fine, but I think we're just going to duplicate it. I think that'll work. Let's get our video up and just look at it. Yeah, it's just so, maybe that'll be better. And what are we missing? More low end maybe? Oh, the audience, yes. Yes. That was it. Was it this one here? It sure was. And we were going to put this on the water on the hot grill sound. So the old sound that we had on this one was I poured water on just like a burning grill and it made that sound, and it's awesome. So even though we have a sound here that is doesn't have a fast attack, we're going to make it into a fast attack. You can hear the shaker in there. So funny. So even though we have a slow attack, we can change it into a fast attack by cutting out the tips of it. And then we add our fades, and we allow that to fade out properly. And then we layer that in, and this should be the last sound that we need. Not bad. Let's see. If there's any processing I think I'd do, I'd probably... Yeah, it's a little bit better without that high-pitch sound. Or maybe we can just take it and add a pitch shifter to it and lower that. That sounds pretty good. And we'll cut out the... Ooh, there we go. Okay. And... Do you have any suggestions, Josh?
Maybe something, yeah.
Lower the... Oh, that's
yeah.
a good idea, actually, yeah. What is that high-pitched sound?
Sometimes having a sound be lower pitch can automatically just make you feel like it's larger. I have no idea.
Is your mic on? Or? Huh. That's a
Oh.
terrifying sound, whatever that is. Yeah, that's a great suggestion. Check out Strikecast Audio or
Yeah.
Strikecast when you get the chance online. Thomas is a very talented music composer, sound designer. Him and Seth both. That helped a lot, yeah. And I think that another thing we need to do is we just need to cut out this frequency band. I will explain to you later if you have a question about it. Or I think we want it. There we go. Ooh. You hear what the? Do you hear that? Is that an okay sound? I think we're gonna end it there because I don't know what else we can possibly add that we recorded in the time that we had. But yeah, good job, guys. Let's move these up to the. So I think we're gonna do some Q&A here. We're just gonna move these up to the microphones, and you guys can line up.
So we'll just like.
Yeah, just move it on.
Oh, thank you. Hello?
We also, sorry? Yep. Yeah, so we're just gonna use this one right here.
All right, so
So, somebody actually asked to hear the original game sound, and this is what it sounds like. And then this is what ours sound like. So theirs definitely sounds better, but.
all right.
Sorry?
Hello?
Thank you, appreciate
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you.
Pretty not bad. So my name's Tim. I work with recording a little bit. I wanted to know what made you guys choose Reaper out of all of the digital audio workstations?
Because it's the best.
Oh yeah, we can talk about Reaper all day.
Reaper is it's $60 to try, or 60 days to try it, and then once you do decide to use it, it's $60. And it's also has probably the best CPU processing of most DAWs, and it's also extremely intuitive.
Really clean looking.
What'd you say?
It looks really clean.
It looks clean.
Custom actions are the big thing though,
Yeah,
right?
custom actions, being able to you can program in Reaper and do what is it called? Just I mean it's what? Yeah, it's scripts, but it's
The custom actions.
yeah, I guess it's like just a custom action scripts that allows you. Oh, macros. That's what I was.
Yeah,
thinking of.
you can
Yeah.
set a whole macro for a chain of events.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow. I'll need to check that out. I actually do use Reaper, so I wanted to know why you guys...
Gotcha.
Oh,
gotcha.
yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Thank you-
It's our
thank-
favorite for sure. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so guys so much.
Absolutely. And for anyone that has questions after this, we'll be outside to hang.
Hi. So how does bit crunching work?
Kind of exactly how it sounds. You're literally
Lowering the bit resolution of the audio.
yeah, you're lowering the quality basically, and you're causing the bits that make up the file to be crushed.
Seems legit.
Yeah.
Hi. So what other things would you use to create white noise? Do you use digital sounds as well, or do you just try to find in real life objects?
So I thought you were gonna answer. Yeah, so I prefer to do find natural white noise sources because computer generated makes sense and it's the easiest to use because it's so readily available. But I prefer to find natural ones, like the water being poured on the hot grill or having you guys go at the same time. That kind of stuff is really a lot more unique, I think, and it kind of just gives a slight variance of personality to the sound typically, and it makes it more. It just makes it real and natural. There's just something subconscious in our brains when we hear something that's computer generated. But when you get a white noise source that's actually natural, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, huge difference. If you're looking at the sound you're doing, if you're watching the video and you record yourself doing the white noise, you can actually skip a lot of the steps by shaping the envelope yourself with your mouth.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So you were saying earlier that the simplest forms of processing are just EQ and pitch shifting. What would you consider more advanced processing tactics?
It's one step further, but I think dynamic processing, like compression, is where you get even more into just a bit of advanced concepts for processing audio. But nowadays, there's plenty of free plugins to try out. The real goal is to reduce the amount of plugins you have so that you're not like just staring at your screen, and you can really focus on speeding up your workflow by not scrolling through like your 2,000 plugins list.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks.
Absolutely.
Hi. Other than besides Reverb, what other DAW engines have you used?
Pro Tools, Logic, Audacity.
Cubase, all of them. I think they're all comparable. I think it's when you really start specializing that you find what sharpens up your workflow. So Reaper, Logic, FL Studio, Cubase, they're all pretty comparable at the entry level. So finding the one you like is the tougher part.
You said one of you guys was a pretty good composer. I'm wondering if, as a musician, is it valuable to be on the compositional aspect of the side of things to make sounds? Is it easier for you as a musician, or would it say that doesn't really translate over?
Wait, are you saying the sound, like,
is
does
it
sound
easier
improve our music skills?
Well, is it easier to be a musician and put things together like this, or do you say they not think it translates very well?
I don't think being a musician makes it any easier, but I actually think it's really beneficial because you're not just thinking about orchestrating like live instruments and stuff. You're thinking of the timbres of sounds themselves, and there's plenty of composers who have talked in depth about sounds for sound's sake, things like that. You know, composers like John Cage, a really experimental composer, but I think as a composer, dealing with sound design directly really helps you get an idea of like what extra sounds you can use in your music and how you can manipulate sound itself to create music.
Super cool, thank you.
So when we're recording, not all of us like have thousands of dollars to kind of throw around at equipment and like kind of a studio to record. So like when I'm recording at home, for example, what kind of environment do you think would maximize the sound quality?
So you're asking about the environment over the gear kind of question, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, ultimately, this is probably one of the worst places to record in here. There are people talking. There's noise sources. Basically, just find something that's small, padded, doesn't have a lot of acoustics in there. Or
Closets.
Closet. Like if you like, the closet is probably one of the easiest home places to record because there's a lot of clothes in there. It's small, and yeah, there's not. It's just you just get this source what's the word I'm looking for?
Low noise,
Yeah,
uninterrupted.
just anything like if you're recording right next to your computer, for example, and its fan is going off, or if someone's outside, like, or if you're right by a highway, like those will all affect your source recordings, or at least get in there, and that's not good.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
Hey, so I'm a high school music teacher, and I teach a music tech class, and we do a unit on sound design for games. And I have a lot of students who are really interested in like becoming sound designers. So I was gonna film you guys, and I was wondering if you could kind of talk a little bit about how you kind of came to know that this is what you wanted to do, and how you became sound designers, so that they can kind of hear from like someone who's actually in the field.
Sure. Yeah. So, kind of like why I decide to go into sound design and when I knew. You said.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, I started as a music composer. I'm pretty sure Josh did too. And then we kind of just you honestly just kind of fall into it a little bit because you use similar tools. But at the end of the day, I think that it's sound design is technical, but it's technical in the sense that you can break all of the rules that music does have. So it has a lot more freedom, I would say. And I think the moment for me with sound design is realizing when I don't have to really follow the rules for it, and it's kind of liberating in that sense. I don't know what it is for you, but.
Oh yeah, for me, I'd say mine's a bit different. I did start as a composer, but I found that what I was interested in wasn't just traditional music, but sounds themselves. Even today, a lot of my music is very sound design heavy, and I don't really mean like what you hear like in trailers or anything, but like actually just manipulating sounds themselves. At the end of the day, even an instrument like a guitar is just another sound source for you to orchestrate with, compose with, or create sounds with. I think when you start looking at the things you enjoy, like video games or films, you start to see all the pockets where your personal flavor of sounds can come in, and what you can do is actually a viable career, and there's plenty of demand for sounds in different mediums.
And I just want to say one more thing. I think that if anyone's trying to get into sound design, just do it. Like I know that's terrible advice, and like people are just like, I can't do it, but you can. Just start somewhere. Look up YouTube videos, take courses, and just get some.
Pull out your phone.
Your phone has
Audacity.
a microphone. Yeah, you can get Audacity and Reaper for 60 days and give it a shot. We have a monthly competition that you can take part in and start learning with our Discord community. It's a tough learning curve, but it's just start doing it. It'll suck at first, but you'll be able to make things in your mind exist in real life soon enough.
Sweet. Thank you.
Definitely.
Hi. I'm kind of looking for sound designer jobs. It seems like a lot of the sound designer jobs coming in, they want you to be the sound designer, the audio programmer, and like the implementation. So my question is really, how much do you need to know things like Wise and Fmod, or how much programming knowledge do you need to do to really implement and deliver your sounds?
My belief is that if you're making it in the sounds for games industry, you have to know it. There are a lot of people that get by without it, but I think the vast majority, you can sell yourself you can sell yourself to game developers by saying you will wake up in the morning and there will be sounds in the game, and the game developer does not have to touch it. And to all game developers, that sounds amazing, and they will love you for that.
So would you say Wise or Fmod is like the best middleware, or you should just go straight into programming?
You should learn you have to learn the programming with both of them, or at least be able to learn how to code. But I would say, I prefer Wise over Fmod, personally. I think he prefers Fmod over Wise. It's really just personal preference.
I'm getting ready to switch, though.
Oh, okay. Let's go Wise.
Yeah. I wouldn't say that you need to be a programmer in the traditional sense, but as you're in the indie community, wearing many hats is kind of the name of the game sometimes. And just like Ryan said, devs would like to pass it off to a few people or one person who can wake up and have sounds in their games. If you get to like really big budget projects, sometimes they specialize a lot more, where you're just only doing sound design, only doing music, things like that. But having the flexibility, I feel like, is really worth it. And you'd be surprised, it's not super hard to get into. We have our free course.
Yeah.
Wise has certification courses. This is like the greatest time to get involved in a lot of these things.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hello. I'm sort of a working sound designer. I do work for this creative agency that I'm part of. A lot of times when I'm working on deadlines, I'm sort of tempted to go to sound design libraries, of which I have like a few that are pretty comprehensive, and they try to market themselves as it's a much quicker way to do your sound design. But sort of a lot of times I've noticed, like when I'm on a really tight deadline, it's often a lot quicker, or it feels like it would be quicker for me to just sort of, I know what I want in my head, let me go record it and then build the sound off of that. Obviously you guys have, I would guess, done a lot more work than me. In your experience, has it been much quicker, or even at all quicker to use like a library rather than just going and recording sounds yourself?
I'll say I have some really high quality sound libraries, and almost every time they don't quite do exactly what I need to do, and I start editing them anyways. So I think recording your own sounds gives you, a really unique sound source, but also a ton of flexibility that you might not get from even libraries that cost hundreds of dollars On the flip side, though, if you're looking at really unusual sound sources, we won't all do what Ryan did and record alligators. So maybe you need a library for that, or like, you know, weapon sound design, things like that. So it's a bit of a balancing act. I really recommend just being flexible and able to do both. Don't have a hard rule.
Did you say you're already a sound designer and you're working, or?
Yeah, I'm primarily a video editor, but a lot of times I sort of end up on sound design, and I've built up a lot of experience with sound design as part of that.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many sound designers in the industry that just will use libraries for the sake of convenience. But I think that most sound designers do prefer. I mean, as far as who I talk to, like a lot of. I mean, I'm such in a bubble because of the Discord server, and most people are on the same mindset. But I think that if you can make your sounds more unique and definable, you can record it from scratch. And if you are a beginner and you do want to learn sound design, learning how to process your own recordings and like learn how to record properly and learn how to make bad sounds good, it's very valuable to learn that processing.
Oh yeah.
Just for not for you specifically, just for everyone, really. But yeah.
And you get over time, you build up your own collection. That's like a great.
That's
part.
really valuable. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm at a point where I hardly record anymore, just because I've recorded so much already.
And then you know exactly what everything sounds like already because you were the one that recorded it. So
and
you
I
don't
know
have to
exactly
guess.
how I'd like to process it and all of that. So.
Yep. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Last question.
So when you're consuming media, movies or whatever, are there any sound effects that make you come out of the experience and think, that's an interesting choice, I might have done something different?
Oh yeah. What's it called? The Windhelm scream? That thing takes me out of it.
That takes me out of it.
There's a scene in Lord of the Rings where it's just
did you mean like in a good way or a bad way?
Either way.
Either way. It happens with good and bad. When it's bad, it's always like, oh, it's the same tire screech, or it's the Wilhelm scream, or the Howie scream, or whatever. I feel like there's a couple moments though where like a sound is really well executed, and I'm just like, that was well done. I think my favorite example recently was The Lighthouse. I don't know if anyone has seen that, but the ending of that movie where like he's like screaming and yelling or whatever. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And sometimes like A Quiet Place, the absence of sounds.
Oh yeah.
That part where, I mean, I won't spoil, but when they knock that thing over and the sound just jumps out at you, I mean, I was scared.
Dynamics at its finest.
Yeah.
Cool. I think we're done for this panel. Thank you so much for joining everyone. We'll be outside to hang out in a little bit. Thank you so much.